So recently, we've had a lot of talk about trade lines and how you can get thousands in trade lines to help boost your credit. And this was good, right? However, some of these trade lines are no longer reporting on people's credit. And so the issue here is that because trade lines aren't done in a way where you're applying for credit and a credit check or financial check is done on you before, the credit bureaus aren't really liking it. So there are some other trade line accounts that you can get to boost your credit, but if you ask me, I'd tell you that it doesn't hurt to build your credit the normal way. And one thing that prevents people from doing this is because they have poor credit and they can't get approved for any good credit cards. However, in this video, I'll be giving you the steps to build your credit with banks and credit cards, even if you have the worst possible credit score. And this works because I've done it myself. You may be able to find some other stores that will offer you good trade lines, but in my opinion, it's not as reliable as a traditional bank-backed form of credit, like a credit card or a personal loan, or even some other store credit cards like the Amazon credit card, for example, because with the credit cards or credit accounts backed by banks, you have a really, really low, probably less to none chance of those accounts falling off your credit unless the accounts get closed by you. So I'll be sharing a few options that can help you to build your credit in a couple of months, and it won't cost you a lot of money. If you're the average person making between $15 and $25 an hour, then this is what you can do, or what you can do to build your credit in as little as 6 months without spending thousands or hundreds of dollars. Now, before I share this, a quick reminder. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, my name is Ian, and on this channel I talk a lot about making money, saving money, investing money, and everything that has to do with personal finance. So if you like this kind of content and these videos, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It's completely free and I'll really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to this channel and turning on all the notifications. And that way you'll be able to get the updates every day when I post new videos on this channel. Now, the first strategy I want to share is actually not a credit card. It's going to be a loan, and it's always good to have multiple types of credit accounts on your credit because that affects your credit score as well. So you don't want to have only credit cards. You want to have credit cards, which are revolving lines of credit, and then you want to have installment loans, which could be car payments or mortgage payments or even personal loans. But for the purpose of building your credit, you don't need a lot of credit available to you. All you really need is something that won't cost you a lot and will help you to increase or improve your credit score quickly. The first thing I would do is to get a local credit union, or go to a local credit union, and you can try this at a bank, but credit unions are much more lenient when it comes on to this. You want to use $100 and deposit it into a CD, and a CD is a certificate of deposit. If you can deposit less than that, you can do that, but usually you have to deposit at least $100. You then take out a personal loan at the same time, backed by the CD that you just opened. So now the bank gives you a secured loan of $100. You then select a repayment term. So since this is such a low amount, I would recommend at least 12 months. And with this method, I did 24 months. So your monthly payments are going to be less than $10. Each time you pay down on this loan, it's reported to the credit bureaus, and you'll do this for about 12 to 24 months. This then creates 12 to 24 positive payments on your credit. It's that easy. Even if you have a really, really bad credit, once you explain what you're trying to do, most credit unions will allow you to do this as long as you have that deposit. The cost of this method is also not very much. You may get charged 3% in interest, inflation is around 2%, and you're not really losing any money here. If you do this for 2 years, you would have spent maybe $15 in fees and interest. And remember, that initial deposit, which was a CD, goes back to your account once the loan period has ended. If I had really bad credit today and I wanted to repair my credit, I would do this again because it works. It's cheap, and if you think about it, there's really no reason for you to not try this. It boosts your credit and it doesn't cost you much, and the chances of getting approved for a secured loan when you have a CD at the same credit union of the same amount of money is very high. So be sure to try this one out. Now, if you already have a banking relationship with a credit union such as Navy Federal, then this is perfect. But if not, just use your local credit union and you can call them and explain this to them. Just tell them that you want to open a CD and take out a secured loan against that CD for the purpose of building your credit. And they'll tell you what's the minimum amount you can deposit so you can actually get all the information that you need before they run your credit. So that's the very first thing that you should do to try boosting your credit. The next step is to get yourself a credit card. Now, I know you can't get the Chase Freedom Unlimited or any other Good Rewards credit cards, but if you can get a secured credit card, and most people don't like secured credit cards for a very good reason. They require a deposit which you can get back, but you have to close the account to get that money back. You'll lose the credit age that the account had, and then you'll have to pull your credit again for another credit card. But in 2021, this is no longer the case, and I'm going to give you one option that I've used, and this is really good. I think it's the best option, and then I'm going to talk about some options from fintech companies that won't even require a credit pull. So the first option is the Discover It Secured credit card, and if you've watched my channel, or if you watch my channel a lot, you may get tired of hearing me talk about this credit card. And also, just to make a point here, secured credit cards are never 100% guaranteed or guaranteed to give you approval, even if you have the security deposit, but I can help you get around that. I'll be leaving a link below to Discover where you can pre-qualify, and you'll know if you will get approved for the card before you actually pull your credit. Usually it works, but sometimes people get denied, so be sure to use that tool if you have really, really bad credit. Now, the reason I like this particular secured credit card is because you can open the account with a deposit of only $500, but unlike other secured credit cards, you don't have to close the account to get your deposit back. Once you use this credit card for about 6 to 8 months, they look at your credit, and if you have been paying your bills on time, they'll return your deposit to you, and they'll then convert this secured credit card to an unsecured credit card, which is a regular credit card with no additional pulls on your credit. So it's a path to a regular credit card from a secured credit card, and your money doesn't get tied up in this forever. They also offer credit reviews every 6 months, and they'll automatically increase your credit limit if you're always paying your bills on time. So for example, when I signed up for the card, I made an initial deposit of $500. I then made an additional deposit of $2,000. In about 6 months, I got all that deposit back, and then I had the unsecured credit card. They also increased my credit score, or my credit limit rather, to $3,500. Now every year since then, I've gotten a credit line increase without pulling my credit of about $1,500 added to that. And depending on your credit score, if you call them, they may be willing to give you the credit line that you want without pulling your credit again. So in 2 years of having this credit card, you could have a credit line of $10,000 or really close to that amount if you are responsible with your credit. If you pair this credit card with the previous method with the secured loan, your credit goes up even faster. Now, the fintech option that I want to talk about are ones that will approve you for credit cards that report on your credit, but they won't do a hard inquiry on your credit, and this means they check your credit. However, it's a soft check, and so you don't lose any points for this, and the first option is the Tomo credit card. This one is a charge card, so you have to pay the balance off in full every single month, but for building your credit purposes, that should be fine. The card doesn't require a hard credit pull, and while you can be denied, it won't affect your credit score. So instead of using your credit score, they'll use your income and debts to approve or deny you for this credit card. So if you have a job and you aren't overdrafting your accounts every month, then I think you have a really good chance of being approved for the Tomo credit card. The second card that is just like the Tomo credit card is the debit card that you're using right now. There's an app called Grain, and Grain works to offer you a line of credit that's accessible from your current debit card, and then that gets reported to the credit bureaus, and there's no credit check, and I think it's another really good option if you want to increase your credit score and you don't have the option of applying and getting approved for a regular credit card. I'm also going to actually be leaving links to those videos here on the screen right now, so you can learn more about Grain and how that works to see if it's something that you'd like to try, or even the Tomo credit card. And one more video that may be helpful if you are interested in these types of credit cards is my video about soft pull credit cards, where I list all the credit cards that are good that you can get without having to do a hard pull on your credit. So be sure to check that video out as well. So if you have a really bad credit, I think you can still improve your credit without having to get Tradelines. And while you can still use Tradelines, you have to understand that it may get harder to get new Tradelines moving forward, or the credit bureaus may decide to stop allowing this, and you don't want to sign up for a service and have it report on your credit for 2 to 3 months and then have it fall off. In that case, it would be better, in my opinion, to either get that secured loan going or get a secured credit card where you can actually build your credit up for 1 to 2 years. And if you do this, you can definitely pull your credit up to that good credit score range and then move on to better credit cards and have access to better loans and credit products. I want to also mention that there are some secured credit cards out there that I would recommend you avoid at all costs, because while I was doing research in the past, I found some really terrible offers. I mean, secured credit cards where you'd have to pay an annual fee, you would have to pay interest from the day you purchased anything using the credit cards, and in addition to those fees, you would also have to pay a monthly service fee. So think about this: annual fees, monthly fees, and interest from the date of purchases. I'll include a link to that video here so you can see what those are, and if you can, I'd recommend that you stay away from them, as you can definitely find much better value in the cards and methods mentioned in this video. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like the content. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so you can get notified when I post new videos, and I post new videos on this channel every single day. Check all the links down below in the description for free and helpful stuff, including WEBULL, where you can get involved in investing and get 2 free stocks valued at up to $1,600 just for using the link below. Once again, thanks for watching. All the best with your credit and building your credit or improving your credit, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.